These are the meaningless ramblings of a Scottish redone whore and a pissy ex-video store clerk. Their ongoing mission is to set right the movie wrongs. They're gonna need a bigger podcast.
Hello, you are listening to the 365 Flicks podcast, and as promised on episode 75, we are back on episode 76 with Indie Talk.
Back in the hot box.
Exactly.
Back in the sauna.
I'm sweating like a fat lass.
A fat lass?
Yeah.
I'm glad you went there and not where I thought you were going to go.
Rapist in the lineup.
Yes.
Yep.
Or the
Pedo in a playground.
Yep, that one. Or a religious priest in anywhere.
Anyways, this is episode 76,
Yeah.
This is Indie Talk, and...
Indie Talk, man.
Indie Talk's back.
We missed a week.
We just... calm your knickers.
We're pacing ourselves.
We're pacing ourselves.
Yeah.
We've got to, you know what? Just we had a little break for a week. That's all.
But we were going to continue the break for a couple of weeks. However, this one came up, and I had to get this guy on. I've been dying to speak to this guy.
I know you have.
I reviewed this Daniel Farrand's comic book back in November. It was episode 54.
Something like that. Yeah.
I keep forgetting. I reviewed it in there. I gave a little quickie review, but I've been dying to get him on just to have a bit of crack about what he had coming up and anything he was doing in the future. And then he released a Kickstarter for issue 2. So it was like, right, dude, get yourself on. And he came on.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Quite sheepishly came on. I think he was a little bit nervous.
It was his first go.
It was.
Yeah.
But he did fantastic. Like, he got in there, he dropped a few F-bombs, so that's when that's when you know you're comfortable.
When people start swearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Chris, who are you?
I am the Scottish Breeding Whore.
Yes,
Who the hell are you?
I am the Pissy X video store clerk.
Excellent.
Yes. We kind of forgetting to do that nowadays.
No.
Why don't you tell the good people before we go into this interview where they can find us?
Okay. Well, we are the 365 Flicks podcast.
Yes,
I don't know if I mentioned that, did I?
Once or twice.
Yeah. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter if you search for 365 Flicks podcast. That makes sense, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
You can also have a look for us on a couple of cheeky networks. The Tangible Network, the Wicked Radio Network, which is wicked.
See what you did there?
Sorry. Weeby Geeks, our British home nerdly.co.uk, and of course our home on the Twitters, #PodernFamily.
Yeah.
You can listen to us on a couple of cheeky different, what they called
Doohickeys.
apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them things.
Yeah, it went south.
Tings.
It went south.
Yeah.
iTunes, Satchel, Stitcher, if you want to, and
we don't recommend Stitcher, though.
any other podcasting app that you can find on your phone.
It doesn't have to be on the iPhone either. You can find us on Android because they have apps too. Apparently, I don't have an Android.
Any other app?
Yeah, but
Don't question me.
before we get into this, I'm going to take it down for a quick second.
Oh dear.
Because we this week over in the UK, we're not going to talk about it for too long because literally it doesn't need to be spoken about.
No, it doesn't.
We we suffered a huge atrocity over here, as our American listeners, I think everybody around the world has seen this. A music concert full of teenage children and their parents and younger. Yeah, man, Jesus, man. Was attacked by an absolute coward, and it's horrible. It's disgusting. We're not going to go too far into it because I have been in a bad mood about this for the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, same here.
I'm normally, I'm not going to say I'm normally okay with stuff like this, but normally, it's kind of like, well, yeah, but these things are happening everywhere. This one's really hit me hard. Normally,
I'm kind of the same. Normally, it's like, okay, this thing's happened. For fuck's sake, it's bad.
Yeah.
And then about a day after it, we're British.
Yeah.
You start making jokes about it.
Yeah, you do. It's the British way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's what we do. But this one, no, this one's bad.
It's unacceptable. It's absolutely disgusting. The youngest victim of all, a year younger than my daughter.
Yeah, I know.
This is shit. I'm not going to talk about it. It's shit. It's really pulled me down. I just wanted to say, the people down there, the victims and all that, and the families around. Britain is the sort of place that in these moments, we show our true colours, we show our human side, we show how fucking awesome we can be, and everybody's standing strong with these guys, and it has to be that way. It's just, this is wrong. But yeah, so we're not going to bring it down too far.
We'll bring it back up again.
Because we have an interview coming up, and it is a fantastic interview with Daniel Farrand, who's released his Kickstarter, as I said, the Untold comic book. Do you just want to get into it?
Well, yeah, let's go for it.
Interview in progress.
And kick ass.
Astro Radio Z is a horror, cult, exploitation film podcast hosted by me, Derek Carey. I was one of those monster kids growing up. The one that used to sit in the back end of that video store and scour over every single last film cover you saw back there, from the slashers to the monsters to the sleazy stuff. Yeah, I was freaking obsessed, and I still am. So much so I became a filmmaker myself. Now I bring on all my filmmaker friends, critics, musicians, and any other fans of the dark arts, which are horror, exploitation, and cult film. Are you one of these people? Then tune in and listen to my show, Astro Radio Z.
Yeah, I was really buzzing when the Kickstarter came round, so I wanted to get you on to talk about it.
You might have actually complained when you reviewed it that I made you pay for it there.
Yeah, you did. You did, because I made special mention of the fact that we were a podcast thinking, freebie.
Yeah. Well, I think I was still learning and just trying to make all the money I can for the next issue. So it went to a good place at least.
Oh no, definitely, man. I absolutely love the first issue, so I'm not going to complain about paying anything for it because I did love it.
Yeah, I finally got hold of the issue, so I'm going to give it a read.
Right, so today on Indie Talk, on this episode, we are joined by Daniel Farrand, who is the author, the writer and creator of the Untold comic that I spoke about way back on episode
54.
54? That was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, so, Daniel, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm not bad, thank you. How are you?
Not bad at all. So basically, we wanted to get Daniel on because he is started a Kickstarter campaign, which, as you know, is a crowdfunding campaign to get issue 2 of the Untold comic book up and running and out to the masses. So last November, we sort of met Daniel at Showmasters Film and Comic Con. By that, I mean, I saw the book and I was like, yep, I want that. You were still sky high off Iron Man.
Yeah, I just spent 170 quid on an Iron Man thing, so
yeah.
It does light up though, so...
Yeah, it has lights. I was instantly drawn to the old Untold comic book because it looked dark, like the artwork was fantastic. It really popped to me, like the time we went to Glasgow and we saw Gary's Plagued comic book, and we instantly was like, right, we want to read that. We want to have a look at that. Untold was exactly the same for me, and I wasn't wrong. This is a damn fine book, Daniel, that you've got here.
Thank you very much. It took 2.5 years to make, so that's maybe why I had some time to mess around with it and hopefully get the story just right.
Well, on that, what we like to do to make our job 10 times easier in these interviews is we like to get the guest, which is you, my friend, to tell us and the listeners what the Untold is.
So the Untold is a psychological horror comic. Now, it came about from a love of horror. Grew up absolutely loving horror in all formats, comics, films, everything. But in recent years, I just think the whole genre's come a little bit tainted, especially with the kind of super kind of, I guess it's gore porn, as some people call it, the kind of Human Centipede series, Serbian film, things like that are just horrible for being horrible's sake rather than for an entertainment sake. It's let's see how far we can push the boat, let's see what we can do, and that just doesn't interest me, and I don't find it scary. I've always been interested in the horror that kind of lets you do your own work, that kind of takes you to the edge, doesn't really show you what's going on, and you can create your own monsters, your own fears. And I don't think there's anything scarier than being able to, than what your own mind will create.
I completely agree with you there. That's I can't be doing with all those, like Saw and Hostel. It's like that's not scary to me whatsoever. One of my favourite horror movies is Halloween, the first Halloween, the proper one.
Not the Rob Zombie one.
Yeah, no, never that. Because of that very reason, Daniel. Exactly, I completely agree with you there.
It plays with you, doesn't it?
That's it. And I don't dislike gore. I mean, we do have some gory moments in there, but I think they need to be placed, well placed and sparingly used. Because I think you just become desensitized to it, and it just loses its effect.
Yeah, I think most of the time they're trying to make you sort of bulk rather than actually scare you.
Yeah,
a lot of those movies.
Bulk. I think it's shot. Yeah, just
that's a
shot
word.
tactic.
Sorry, I'm just
you know that word, don't you?
Bulk.
Yeah, maybe.
So basically, we what I do want to ask you about, because we did meet you at the Showmasters Comic Con, and obviously you lived on others as well. How do you find that the Comic Con atmosphere when you go and you're trying to like shill your comic to people and that? How do you find that? Because I've always found that would be quite nerve-wracking.
What was nerve-wracking is my first ever podcast, I'd say.
Nice.
I don't mind it, to be honest. I think the first few people I tried to speak to, I fluffed my words, I got tongue-tied, and I struggled. I think I found a pattern that seemed to work, probably the same one that maybe worked on you guys. Managed to kind of, just find a pattern and basically just be myself and tell them the reasons why I created it, the struggles I've had to go through creating it and the time it's taken, and just pretty much just be myself and just tell them, what it's about. And most people are, they're nice people, they're willing to listen. And when you give them a story behind why you've done something and the reasons for it, then they tend to be quite forthcoming wanting to help you out.
Yeah, well, people are really friendly at those events. We found that that they want to hear you. If they didn't want to hear it, they wouldn't have come up and asked you what's the deal behind this.
Yeah,
comic
definitely, man.
thing. Yeah,
like I say, I think we had walked around the room twice before I actually stopped. And the first time round, I was kind of like, that looks great. Because, like I say, you had the books sort of open at certain pages, which, was a quite good ploy, because I saw the page where you had the woman in the red dress, which straight away, it pulled up like, the Sin City kind of thing in my head. And
yeah.
I was like, how much I loved Sin City. But you could also see there was something else to this book, which kind of, I was like, yeah, I'm not leaving without that. Of course, I had to pay.
Yeah.
You're not better.
It certainly was kind of Sin City inspired with the the kind of black and grey, and then just the pops of colour. I mean, the woman in the red dress, I actually shamelessly stole from Schindler's List, because I think when I was a kid we watched Schindler's List in high school in history class, and there's one scene where there's a little girl that pops out.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the film. It's black and white, and a little girl pops out in the red dress, and that stuck with me for 10 years. So I kind of stole that. So I can't take credit for that bit.
Well, there's nothing wrong with we call it borrowing.
Just borrow it.
Yeah, borrowing.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong.
If it works, it's all right.
So I know
exactly.
I know you were saying that you've been inspired by horror and you've been through the years and all that, but it was sort of getting desensitized to you, and they weren't producing the right stuff for you. But you kind of mentioned the story behind it. So what is the story? But how did you get the story behind Untold?
Yeah, basically it came from me and a friend just kind of throwing ideas around. Now, I'd never written anything creative before. I didn't in particular like English at school. I was kind of one of these kids who wanted to run around kicking balls around and playing football and rugby and whatever else. It wasn't until I got older that I realised I enjoyed it. And me and a friend were kind of just saying, oh, well, what if we made a comic like this, and just threw a few ideas around. And we started putting together like the backbones of what it was. And I was like, well, I'm going to have a go. I don't know anything about writing comics. I haven't got the foggiest. So I did a little bit of research online, asked a few questions, and wrote a basic script. Made a lot of mistakes, a lot of errors, and the first one was probably extremely terrible. Reworked it, showed it family and friends, got some decent feedback, and then finally got something I was proud of, and just went out and found an artist. Now, what you're probably getting at is what the story is actually about. So the story follows a young girl called Alice. Now, Alice is primarily cared for by her grandfather. She has both parents in the picture, but they're busy like most parents are these days, working and just, kind of living their life and not being neglectful, but also not paying as much time to her as they should. So she's raised pretty much by her grandfather who's retired. Now, from the age of 6 to... No, sorry. From in her younger ages up until maybe around the age of 6 and 7, her grandfather, the main figure, she idolises him. He's her everything. Now, at the age of sort of 6, 7, he disappears. And there's no explanation, he just vanishes. Now, we kind of time jump through the comic, through a series of panels of Alice kind of asking her parents where he is, what's happened, why he's had no contact. And she gets the same sort of plain answer back from them, that your grandfather loves you, but he's very poorly, and he can't be here. So at the age of 18, she kind of presses, and her dad finally snaps. And he says, look, basically, he's been in an asylum for the last 10 years. I think it's best if you go and see him and find out why. So off Alice trots, she turns up to the asylum, where she finds the man that she always loved. He's a little bit older, she's obviously grown up, but he's still the man that she remembered. He was still a sweet, nice old man. Now, that's where things start to take a bit of a sinister turn, because she is then visited by basically a grotesque kind of demon-looking figure, who then starts to toy and play with her, and this is where the story's going to start to unravel, and you're going to start to find out things find things out that have gone on, and some of the reasons why he might be there.
Nice.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Honestly, man, you have to give this a proper read. It's great. It is. And like he says, the colourful language is great.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I've been told off for that a few times by my better half. She
No, man. That's just you know what? If somebody's complaining about the language, you've done a good job.
Yeah. I think I probably cut quite a few bits out as well before I sent it to print.
Oh well, you've got to have a director's cut, haven't you?
That's it, exactly. You told sisters have been like, do I need that fucking there? No, I could probably lose that one.
No, if that's ever a question, it needs to stay in.
Just if you're toying, go back and forward, leave it in.
If you have to ask yourself twice. So
that's it, yeah.
So that's the first issue, which, like I say, is fantastic. Anybody who hasn't read it, you need to get out there and you need to either purchase it, or the Kickstarter for issue 2 is online now. It's underway. And there are a couple of cool perks in there where you can actually get issue 1.
Are there?
Yes. But we shall get onto that now. So, Daniel, the Kickstarter for issue 2 kicked off was 3 days ago, was it? 4 days? It was Saturday.
One Saturday morning we launched at 9 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Man.
And we've had a good start.
You've had a cracking start, to be fair. Good is an understatement, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. More than, the last one was a struggle. I mean, if I do say so myself, I worked fucking hard to get that funded. And I mean, I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning, posting, and not going to bed until 12, 1 o'clock on the night, just posting, trying to hit the American market, because that's where a lot of funding comes from. And by the end, I was exhausted, because I felt like I had to earn every single penny of that. And I was willing to do it because I believed in the project, so it was quite a surprise and quite relieving to see that this one's taken off so well, and hopefully the work from last time is starting to pay off.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this is one of the questions that I did have for you. Every time we speak to somebody who has a crowdfunding campaign like Indiegogo or Kickstarter or whatever platform they're using, they tell us that it is a grind. You know, it's
Yeah.
And I did read, you sent me an interview from comicbooked.com where you basically said it was a lot harder the first time round than you thought it was going to be. So,
yeah, I think I had some thoughts that I might just say that wasn't true. And, when I was just, like I said, never really, I mean, I've read comics a lot, but I've never created one before. So I've had to learn everything. And I think I kind of showed to people that you can, if you want to, you can do it. And I mean, like, I literally promised myself I'm not giving up until issue 1 was printed, and that's what I did. I went through, I think, 2, maybe 3 artists in total to get the first issue out, and made a lot of mistakes, spent more money than I probably needed to because of the mistakes. But like I said, I'm a Yorkshireman and we're pretty stubborn. So I got there in the end, and then I kind of got addicted, I think, and had to move on to the next.
So you've got, how many issues have you got in your head?
So I've got 4 for the first arc, and if that goes well, if we can get that all made, then I've got another arc that's kind of a prequel-ish.
Oh.
And then it'll be, if we can get that successfully through, we're still going. Then I've got another 4 for, like, so it would be kind of in the future, but not massively, following on from the Untold, but with the first arc, but with a little bit of a jump in between.
So definitely, definitely got a good few planned out anyway.
Yeah, so it's a 12 with the short answer.
Nice. I'm just kind of running through the Kickstarter here with Chris, just kind of showing him some of the art. You know what, man? Like we spoke over the last year since we kind of met, and when the Kickstarter was coming up and all that, and you've kind of told me a few things about what was going on behind the scenes and why things were sort of getting delayed a little bit and all that. And we're not really going to go into that. The artist you have on the book now, Chris Mad. My God, this art is incredible, absolutely incredible.
Oh, he's good, and without being disrespectful to Johannes, I think it's a huge leap forward for us. I mean, even just behind the scenes on a professional level, he certainly knows what he's doing.
Yeah, there seems
down
to
the point.
Going on the Kickstarter, there seems to be a hell of a lot of passion from both sides here, which is, is always good to see. Yeah,
and he keeps me in check and tells me what I can and can't get away with, a bit more strict with me. And so I think we've got a good relationship going on, and certainly hope we can stick together and see the whole series through.
Yeah, I've also been looking at his Twitter as well, and honestly, it looks like you've got a good little relationship here. And just looking at the art, it is leaps and bounds. It's fantastic. Yeah,
he's a real talent. I'm glad that I came across it. I kind of came across him by accident. We're working on I'm also putting on the side. We'll probably hopefully talk about this in the future. A small anthology with another friend of mine. I don't know if you've ever. He's an American creator called James E. Roche, and he makes a series called Wretches. Now we kind of spoken. We're coming up with an anthology, but it's an anthology with a difference. It's one basically to raise awareness around a load of different subjects. So I've got a story in there for poetry, and he's got one for like toxic waste being dumped basically around Somalia, which brought about the rise of Somali pirates. We've got all sorts of ones on trolls, bringing awareness around teenage suicide. We're going to get that together, and then we've got all the creators to agree, we're going to give 50% of any future profits from it directly to a charity that we chose as well.
Wow.
That's actually how I met Chris, is that we're doing a poetry story together on that. And he came with, I spoke to him and asked him if he could do some some African hunting dogs. I said, well, I've never drawn dogs before, but I'll have a go. And the pictures he sent me were amazing. So I was like, yeah, this is definitely a guy I'm going to have to use. I was in the market for a new artist for the Untold anyway.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this guy's going to have a go. I'm going to have to see what he can do.
Oh, yeah. Certainly, the picture on the Kickstarter page of the The scalpel towards the eye is freaking me out.
Yeah, it's a nice picture. You wouldn't want to be on the receiving end, that's for sure.
You would not. You definitely would not.
So yeah, we've got some good. We've got some really good artists involved. I think Carl is one of the best sort of realism artists that I've come across in a long time, and I don't think he realizes how good he actually is. He doesn't do it professionally. He just kind of came across him by accident again, and he does what he does is he buys blank variant covers, so like The Walking Dead, things like that, and he'll do his own sketches on there. I saw him posting something. I was like, look, I'll pay if you can create me something for Untold, and that's where he got the girl kind of with Daisy coming up and out of the half her face coming out of the water. And his talent is ridiculous. I just think if he applied himself more and believed in himself, he could make a living out of it.
Well, I can't believe he doesn't make a living out of it, to be honest.
No,
yeah,
it's nice.
I can believe that was what he does, because he's. I don't know if you probably can. Further down in the campaign, there's because we're offering a blank variant sketch, so we're going to have a blank variant made up, and we're going to let Chris or Carl do you a cover of anything you want. You can choose the artist, you can choose basically the cover. I think pretty much as long as it's nothing pornographic, then they'll do anything you want. Now, there's some examples of Carl's work on there, and it's just phenomenal. I thought there must be some trickery to it. I thought he must be pulling images off the internet and kind of doing it digitally, but it's all traditionally done pencil and inked. So to get that level of detail, the mind boggles. I don't know how he does it.
Well, there's a picture of Harley Quinn on there. We know I'm a big fan of Harley Quinn, so
yeah.
Is it why that looked at Fox Mulder before Harley Quinn?
No, not really.
It's all right.
So on that, let's touch on a couple of these perks, because you've got some pretty damn good perks here. The listeners out there, for a measly £3, what's that? A cup of coffee down at Cafe Nero or Costa?
Yeah,
you can get yourself a deluxe digital copy of the book, which everybody's doing digital nowadays.
Yeah,
not you.
Yeah, we're going to be trying to get into Comixology. We've just had the first issue packed ready. They've got to meet their stipulations. They're quite strict with it. So we've just got the first issue kind of made into one solid PDF to send to them.
Nice.
Fingers crossed, hopefully over the next month we'll be getting that on there, and then following up with the second one. So it makes it a little bit easier to get hold of that digital copy.
No, that's excellent. That. I mean, Comixology is no small fish, so that's excellent.
No, exactly. Yeah. So that's what we're working towards.
And then you've got your variant rewards for £12 if you pledge £12. Honestly, I was going through some of these, and every time I was looking at them, because I am going to be pledging, but I was literally looking at it going, oh, I'd have that, and then I went down, I was like, oh, I'd have that, and I got down to the £300, and I was like, I'd probably have that.
I think we that's what I tried to do, because so many people have done that to me in the past. I think Bob Sally was the worst for it when he did Shelter Division. I was like, started out with a digital copy and I ended up walking with like a t-shirt for 40 quid or something. I was like, how did you do that to me? Like everyone was like, oh, that's so good. And then the next one was like, well, that's just a little bit better. It's only like 5 or more. And he just trapped me. It was good tactics. That's what I hoped to do with this. I'm glad that that's what we've achieved.
Here's one that you like, Chris. Because we know that you are a little bit of you're trying to be a little bit of a creator, and you'll get there. But for £50, you actually get a Skype reward where you can pick the brain of Daniel himself, who
for a full hour.
For a full hour, I mean that's a fantastic one. You also get a physical copy of Untold 2. You also get the PDF of the first novel as well, the first issue as well.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, this page is so well laid out.
Yeah, thank you. I think my favourite has to be the sketches by Adelso Corona, who I met through the anthology. We're going to have him on there as well, so we've got some real good names involved in that. Now, I just kind of messaged him I know he was a busy guy. Obviously, he's been doing Deadpool Corps for Marvel. Is there any chance you could do some sketches for the Kickstarter. Thankfully, he said yeah. Squeezed him in and left me wait in. I kept messaged him daily for about 2 weeks. He was like, "Don't worry, I'll get them to you before the 20th." Literally got them on like the 19th at 11 o'clock. So, yeah, cheers! Thanks for the letting me get them on the page in time.
That's great.
We got there and he's done some nice ones. He's done some. I want the Moon Knight one myself, to be fair.
Right. Yes. All of these things you can find on the Kickstarter, so I 100% say that you should at least go and check this out, see what you can give, if you can give anything, and hopefully you can. It's at kickstarter.com. Just type in, how would people get to this? Just type in Untold, and it'll take you to the Kickstarter page. I was going to read out the URL, but it's...
you'll be there all night.
It's so long. I know. I think you can either go to Google and put in Untold 2, it's going to come up with the Kickstarter page, because I did that myself, just because I'm a bit like that. I wanted to Google my own comic. So see what came up. So that works. Or you can just go on to Kickstarter. If you put in Untold 2, it's going to come up that way. I think we've actually titled it Untold 1 and 2, just to make sure people know that they can be picking up that first copy. But anything like that, we're going to be at the top of the active.
Yeah.
Or just check out like the Untold comic on Facebook, or even I don't mind people adding me as a friend. I'm always constantly posting about it. You're going to see many links on my page over the next month, kind of throwing out and shooting at people's faces. So,
well, I was thinking that the Facebook is probably the best way to get to the page, because you're on it pimping like a madman. And anytime that we see it, we will post it up on our page as well, on our Twitter feed.
Oh yeah, we'll get it shared.
And once the episode goes out, we'll pimp the episode as much as possible, and we're gonna try and get this out there as much as possible, because I truly believe in this book. Like, I loved the first issue,
and I appreciate that. I think it's because there's been nearly a year between the first and second, for obviously issues we don't really want to go into. I think my writing style has come on a lot as well. I think the quality of it's come on. I mean, I was happy with the first issue, and I am happy with the first issue, but I know that the second issue has just improved so much. It's a lot tighter, cleaner, and just it's going to read a lot better, and it gets pretty dark. We've got some dark places in that.
You'll find that though, is the more you do something, the better you're going to get at, and all that kind of thing.
Definitely.
So that's exactly. All good. That's all good. So if somebody's wanting to pick up issue 1, where can they buy it?
Issue 1 at the minute, you're probably gonna only be able to get it through me or at Comic Cons. We're in the process of making a website so we can get that out there. I've just been that busy trying to sort out the issues behind the scenes of Untold 2, and then get it up and ready and launched, that I just haven't had the chance to finish the website yet. So hopefully we're gonna get it on there. A couple of the local shops near me have got it in there. So the things Travelling Man in Leeds have got a few copies. Been in Planet in Leeds have got a few as well.
Yeah. So basically, just follow. Tell everyone what the Facebook page is.
It's just simply the Untold comic.
The Untold comic. So everybody have a look for that.
Nice and simple. Same with the Twitter handle is the Untold comic. You find us on there. If anybody just wanted to drop me a message, I'd be happy to send them the first one out. But to be honest, the easiest way right now, I think, would be just to go straight through the Kickstarter page.
Yeah.
They're not too expensive on there. Obviously, you have to charge a little bit extra.
Yeah.
Going through Kickstarter, so we've got to try and make the money to make the next issue. But it's only like a couple of quid extra, and hopefully they'll agree that it's going to a good cause.
Well, I think a lot of people, when they do come onto this Kickstarter, which again, like I say, we'll be pimping out as much as possible, the sheer passion and the sheer honesty that you have on the page. I mean, there's a bit down at the bottom where you tell people where the money goes, which I know is sort of a normal thing for Kickstarter to say, look, this is where your money's going, this is what we're going to do with it. But you have a bit in there about the first 3 pages saying how you've stumped up a chunk of cash yourself to get the pages out there. Mm-hmm. And when people see that, it makes them more like, well, shit, this guy's, he's doing it. He's going to do it, so...
Yeah, and I don't know if you know how much comic book pages cost. They're not cheap.
Oh, they're not cheap. We've spoken to a couple of people. We know they're not cheap.
without discussing what Chris and I agree, it's certainly. I mean, the first issue we made 3,500, and 100%. I didn't see a penny of that to myself. It was every penny went into the first issue, and into the being printed, and I probably still had to put a little bit extra in. And for the first issue, I summed up the cash for I think 8 pages. So
wow.
It doing good. That shows how much I think I believed in it. But I got so much done as a preview.
Well, that's what I mean. Like when I was going down, and I got to the bottom and I saw that, I was like, "Jeez, man!" Just the fact that you put your own chunk in, it sort of, as a visitor to the page, instantly made me kind of like, "Well, this guy is 100% in, so why shouldn't that be?"
But that's what the Kickstarter and that kind of thing is actually for. Is people like you, Daniel, who you're just so desperate to get something. I want to do it. I want to do this. I want to get this made.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. And I think it's a great platform. I'm so glad that it's out there and getting bigger and bigger. Yearly it's growing. It just gives people like me the opportunity to do what we want to do and get it made and get physically hold it in your hand and be able to say, I did that, I made that.
Now, do you do a little Peter Griffin laugh every time you do it? Every time you see the comic book, you go,
Yeah,
I think I would, to be honest.
So it's a little proud moment every time I lay out a comic on. I'm just like, I've done that. I managed to get there. I didn't know much about it, but we got there in the end.
See, that's the thing that amazes me as well. Like you were saying at the start, like I didn't actually realise. I've not seen you say that anywhere else, but I didn't realise that you literally started out with like practically no experience. That is to then get to the point where you've got your first issue out and you're kickstarting a second issue, which so far is doing fantastic. That's unbelievable.
It is. It's impressive as hell, to be honest. So if anybody's listening to this and they're thinking of doing the same thing, obviously we want them to pledge the £50 to get to pick your brain for an hour, but can you give them a little spoiler? Like, where did you start?
I think that reward would be one of the most beneficial for people, and I might not have as many Kickstarters behind me as some of the others, but I know the errors I've made, and I know that there probably is a lot that I can teach someone to not fuck up as much as I did. I think I did it so hopefully other people won't have to, and I wasted the money that hopefully other people won't have to. I started out not really having a clue where to start out.
Yeah.
I sat down in front of a laptop and thought, right, I figure I'm probably going to need a script, so let's do that. So I got a little notepad and I roughly drew out the pages. Kind of got the story in my mind, and started at page 1. Drew a few panels on a page of how I could kind of see the page in my mind, and roughly jotted in each panel, what would happen, and so on and so forth throughout. And then thought, well, this I'm going to do to give to an artist. I'm going to have to make it into a written script. I sat down on the laptop and kind of thought, well, if I was an artist, how would I like to have a script? How would I like to have it done? So just create that and send it out to a few people. I kind of got some feedback, said, look, would you mind reading this? Had a few family and friends read it, got some good feedback on it, and went from there. Just kept trying to improve it each time, and finally got there. Got some honest feedback, I think, along the way as well.
That's the most important thing, isn't it? If you're sort of like, if you think something isn't working, tell me. Don't blow smoke up my arse. Just tell me.
That's it. Yeah, and that's what I've tried to say to everyone. I say to everybody that I sell a book to at a convention, I'll always give them a card and just say, look, hand on heart, if you read it and there's something you don't like, please message me and tell me. And I'm not going to take it personally. I'm not going to take it to heart. Not everybody's going to like it. But getting that honest feedback from people that don't know you, it's not family and friends that are scared to upset you, then you're going to learn things about your writing and learn things on, because I know it's not 100%, because I know it's the first book I've ever really done.
Yeah.
So I know there's probably bits in there to improve on. So I'm always looking for a little bit of advice and people's opinions to then hopefully try and improve the next one.
Awesome, man.
And if the feedback is that there's too much swearing in, I'll just tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, like we say, you can never have too much.
That's it.
So before we kind of leave that, I have to ask, can you give us a little bit on where issue 2 is going? Just a little taste.
Somewhere that you probably should hope that you'll never ever end up. Is where it's going. I guarantee you will read it and think, shit, I hope that never happens to me. Put it this way, I did extensive research into how the brain works and how lobotomies are performed before writing this, and everything in it is 100% scientifically accurate, so it could possibly happen.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Yeah,
Shit's gonna get dark.
I might not read that.
One of these people that likes to have everything accurate and tries to keep as close to the truth as possible. So I think I probably you probably want to let me loose on it, but I think I could probably do a good lobotomy now I've read that much about it.
Nice.
Just do it. Just do some kind of drawing short straws or something in the pub on Friday night, and somebody will volunteer.
So you are the Daniel Day-Lewis of the comic world.
Oh shit!
He's gone full method.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed doing the research. I like learning things all the time anyway. So even down to just learning how the brain works and how grey matter works, why brain matter works, and just, it was interesting. And hopefully there's a little bit of education in it as well with how it's written and how the character portrays what he's doing.
Excellent, man.
You're looking forward to that, aren't you?
I am a little bit, yeah. Definitely.
So the Kickstarter's running just now, 29 days to go.
Yes.
So when, have you got an idea on your head of when you'd like it to be released?
I think Chris is quick and he's good. I think as soon as we get there, he's freed up some, especially with having such a good start, he's freed up a little bit of time, so he knows he's going to be able to give himself 100% to it. So hopefully as soon as we get funded, fingers crossed, I mean, it's looking that way, he'll be straight on it, probably going to be producing around about a page a day. So hopefully within about a month after, we should be sending it to print, would be ideal.
Nice.
That would be the ideal route to try. So we'll be ending, it's going to be kind of the end of June. But I think beginning of August, we should be hopefully sending them out to people.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
That's absolutely awesome.
Good stuff. That's what I like to hear.
So we want you to go to Kickstarter. People who are listening to this episode, we want you to go and get yourself on the Kickstarter. It's a worthy cause. This book is fantastic. You're gonna love it, and when you read the page, you're gonna love what's going on. We recommend the £50 because I think the chat with Daniel himself on Skype, that's quite valuable. I like the sound of that.
There you go.
But the one I'm looking at right there is I want to be in the book.
You want the cameo?
Yeah.
The cameo appearance.
Let's see, we had
They
some
wouldn't
good
let you
ones
in that,
there.
Kev. It's too gory.
We'll get you in. We'll get you in there, and we'll put you in a nice scenario.
I'm looking at that and I'm thinking that's fantastic.
The bottom gone wrong.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll make an extra special part for you.
Nice, man. So again, everybody please go on and have a look. I mean, this is a Kickstarter that I've been waiting to be released, and I've been waiting to speak to Daniel because I'm fully in on this one.
Yeah, good.
And man,
and hopefully I won't let you down.
Well, if you make me pay again, that will be a bit of a...
So will you be in Newcastle Comic Con in November then?
We hopefully.
Yeah.
I think hopefully we're going to get back up there, and it was nice this time round. I had a few people coming over to the store looking and asking about the next issue. I mean, hopefully, ideally we would have had it out, but obviously unforeseeable circumstances we couldn't.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to see. It's always nice to see those people that come up to I bought it from you last year. You know, have you got the next issue? I've been looking forward to it. That's better than anything. You know, people paid their hard-earned money to have it and then come back looking for the next one. I think it just makes it all worthwhile. Makes it,
Definitely.
Yeah,
We'll be there, and Kev will be up to pick up his free copy of issue 2.
No, I'll be buying. I'll be pledging, then I'll be buying. So don't you worry about that.
Thank you very much. I think we've had a strong start, but I'm a bit of a worrier, and I just can't. Even though I think we made it was 50. Well, that's 1,499, which really pisses me off. There's just under 1,500. We've done that in 4 days. Now I know it's going to slow down a little bit. You get that initial momentum, and I still, I think 60-something% there, and I still panic. I'm still panicking every day. That's why you'll see me relentlessly on Facebook 3 times a day, religiously. Noon, 5 o'clock, just before bed around 10 o'clock. I'm there posting to the groups, and it's because it's that fear that from now on nobody's gonna back, and that's kind of how I see it in my head, which is why I'm so relentless and so passionate to get it funded, because I don't take anything as a given or anything as for granted. I feel like I have to earn every backer. I have to physically speak to every backer if I have to and convince them to back. That's how I see it in my head, and that's why I assume now, unless I post or unless I get out there and speak to people or do podcasts, there is going to be nobody else who's going to back. Nobody's going to find it kind of off their own back. I have to put the work in and hopefully get it over that line.
Well, we're as a podcast, we're going to try and help you as much as possible.
Definitely, I'm going to have a read of issue 1 as well, and I'll do a cheeky review on the next regular.
You did literally sit there and got like on the 3rd page and went, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, I know what you just saw."
that's I think that happens to a few people. A few people mention it to me, and I think it's, like I said, I think it's fitting, and it has the effect that it was supposed to have. It kind of, especially those 3 pages are a little, kind of sub-story on their own. They're not attached to the rest of the book. Well, they are, but then they're separate. I mean, there's probably going to be more of that revealed of why I've done it like that. But those 3 pages are separate. They're even before the intro page to the book. They're the first thing you see as soon as you open the book. They're there, and they're kind of in your face. They hopefully do the job of making you see what the book's about and pull you in to want to go through the rest of it.
And you do. You pull them straight, and it hooked me right from the word go. So hopefully people will get on this page after listening to this interview, and keep an eye on our Facebook. We will pimp out as much as humanly possible, and man, we're going to get we're going to get you past that goal. Yeah,
hopefully. Like I say, we're on course. We seem to be doing well, but nothing. Can't take anything for granted. So
yeah, you were kind of like on the days leading up to it, you were kind of messaging me saying, right, the Kickstarter's coming, it's going to be dropping soon. Oh man, I'm panicking. And I'm sitting there going, dude, man, just don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
That's it. I think it just shows the level of care that I have. And
definitely.
Like I say, it's been. I think I remember looking at the first script for the first time in a while, and I'm sure it's dated. At the end, like November 2014 was when I wrote it, and that's when I started it, and then had to go on this journey of trying to find an artist and lose artists and do things wrong and pay for things and not get them and whatever else went through the way. And just, I think a lot of people would have given up and thought, well, this is too hard. But I kind of made myself that promise I wouldn't stop until I got it done, and we got there. And
I was going to ask you earlier on, were there any moments where you thought, fuck this?
Oh yeah, many. Lots. Like I said, 2 previous artists. One, we did start the art and it was in the wrong size paper. We couldn't use it, so it had to be scrapped. Oh. And we were too busy to do it. And there was another fella I used, paid him some money, did a few pages. I think he then realised it was harder than what he thought, and just vanished, just disappeared off the face of the earth. So I lost a bit of money there.
Oh Christ!
Yeah, so I've had some moments where I thought maybe this isn't meant to be. maybe I should just stick to the day job. But like I say, I'm proud that I stuck with it. Proud that I got there, and it was tough, but we got there.
No, good on you, man. That's
Definitely.
so cool.
And
Thank you.
We're going to keep the train running, and we're going to get you that money. So this book's coming out.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So Daniel, we'll pretty much we'll wrap up the episode there. We'll wrap up the chat. I mean, it's been fantastic speaking to you, because when we met you back in November last year, I did want to kind of spend a little bit of time to crack to you about the book and all that, because obviously I was going to review it on an episode. But the thing was, when we go to these things, we're very aware that you're also there to sell the comic to the people around and all that. Yeah. So I don't like to take up too much time when we do go. So this has been a pleasure. This has been an absolute pleasure getting you.
Settled into it now. I was a little bit nervous to start with. I'm not.
You've done fine for your first go. You're all right.
No,
that's it. Yeah. Go on, sorry.
I could sense that you were a little bit nervous when I was speaking to you earlier, and I kind of started thinking, is this actually his first podcast?
yeah, it is. I don't mind admitting that. My podcast is yours now.
You've done perfectly well, mate. We've got you in and loosened you up.
Exactly. You want to go back and listen to actually don't go back and listen to episode 1, because
don't ever do that.
It's been a pleasure.
Excellent.
Good man.
That's hopefully people won't think I'm too much of an arsehole.
No, I think they'll be thinking this guy's kind of fucking passionate. I'm going to go and give him £300.
And then the other two are
arseholes. That's it. Well, somebody actually took one of the £300 ones, which was
I did see that.
It really did. He was an American fella, and I woke up to a nice £300 chunk off the total, and I was very happy. I mean, it's a pretty damn good reward. We're giving away pretty much everything. Everything above is in there, and it's kind of like an investment thing. You're getting future copies as well. So thankfully, somebody's believing us enough to do that. Hopefully, someone else might come along and take the other one.
I like that, man. I like that. And when I saw that, I was pretty chuffed for you. Like, I was sitting there going, "Oh, get it!" You know, when you see that, it's like, people are interested, people want this, so you're gonna make it, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's somebody's hard-earned money. £300 isn't any amount of money to be snubbed at.
No, not at all.
For somebody to be willing to give, to give us that, it's pretty humbling. It's a nice thing.
So again, this is the Untold issue 2, although it's banded with issue 1 and 2, which I love the fact that you're giving the first issue as well. Just nice little touch on that count as well. Get yourself on a Kickstarter.
I mean, at the end of the day, all I want is people to read the book and read the issue, and I'm happy as long as people are reading what I've done. That's why I created it, for people to hopefully read it and enjoy it.
And they will.
I think I'm going to enjoy it.
So we'll wrap it up there, my friend.
We will do.
And we'll let you get off for the rest of your night and enjoy it even, my friend.
Well, thank you, and I hope you have a good holiday.
I'm sure I will. We're taking the mother-in-law, so...
Oh. Nah.
But she's a lovely woman. So
I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere.
No. She's a babysitter, so it'll be fine. But again, Daniel, good luck with the campaign.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Speak soon.
See you, mate. Peace out.
I'm Jason.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Blake from the History of Bad Ideas. And we'll get back to your regularly scheduled program here in just a second, geek listeners. But we do a weekly podcast called The History of Bad Ideas.
Yeah, where we'll discuss things like television or movies or music or games or any other thing that falls into our geek-related podcast knowledge.
You can find us on Geek Life Radio, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, or Radio-Blitz, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, or you can listen to us whenever the hell you want on iTunes and Stitcher. Check us out. Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
How awesome was that?
Yeah, he was a good guy.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was. I didn't realise before speaking to him that he had very little experience in the field.
You know what? I'm massively, massively impressed by that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That's I mean, we've been speaking to a lot of guys, different genres. We've been speaking to Andrea, who's brought The Shepherd out. He did a great job on Hobie as well.
Not happy about that.
What's that?
I know that I kind of suggested that, but I don't like Hobie stealing our guests.
Well, yeah, but we offered him. That sounded wrong.
That did sound a little bit wrong, yeah.
Well, Hobie have sent us Pez.
Have they?
No, I'm just making it up.
All right. I was going to say, because I ain't seen no Pez.
Oh, they sent me Pez.
They sent you Pez.
Yeah.
Not happy, again. But yeah, man, I've not listened to the interview yet, but I'm really glad that they had him on. And by all accounts, from what Andrea's been telling us, they really took care of him.
No, they did. It was a good interview. Not as good as us, but it was a good interview.
It never will be as good as us.
No, never that.
No.
But so obviously we've been speaking to guys like Andrea and also, independent movie makers like Tom and Cause, etc.
Cavan back in the day.
Absolutely. But it's actually really, really inspiring.
Yeah, man.
To speak to someone like Daniel who didn't have, he didn't sort of study it or anything like that. He just went, you know what? I've got an idea for a graphic novel and I'm going to fucking do it.
Yeah, he went for it, man, and he is doing it. And yeah, he's doing the Kickstarter thing, and the Kickstarter thing is working so far. Hopefully it will keep going. I imagine if this one does as well as it's looking like it is. He mentions in the interview that he was $14.99. He's actually over that now. He's past the 15 mark. I'm hoping he knows. He's over the 15 mark. And I honestly think this is going to get back to as quickly as he thinks it is, although he seems to think it's not. He thinks it's going to die off.
I would be the same.
But the thing is, these Kickstarter campaigns, it's usually like your first 2 or 3 days is
your you've said that before,
and then your last 3 or 4 days is like another big push. He's gonna get it. He's got 29 days, and I personally think he's gonna make it.
You would be the same though.
I'd be the same, yeah. I'd be absolutely
because
shitting a
we're
brick.
both a couple of negative Nellies as well.
Yeah, so. We are negative Nellies, negative Nancy's. But in other news, just to bring it really up, we've got our Wonder Woman tickets.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
I am.
Really?
3. Yeah. I've got my Wonder Woman costume hunted out and everything.
Your Wonder Woman underoos.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I need some underoos. Wonderoos.
That'll do.
Shouldn't have went there. Shouldn't have went there.
No.
So, are we going to end this here?
Yeah, that's been episode 76. We had a cracking talk with Daniel, and we wish him all the best of luck. We will be speaking to him again soon.
Yeah, man. Everybody, get yourself on this Kickstarter campaign. Find a pledge that you like. There's one in there for you. I mean, they're all there for you. Pick one that you really like. I personally suggest that the Skype one. I like the Skype one. Getting to pick his brain for an hour. I'm sure he'll waffle on a bit longer than that once he gets into it. Because I get the feeling that we could have went on for
an hour. He was gathering steam.
Yeah, he was like, I'm into this now.
Yeah.
This is good. I'm in. So yeah, I suggest the £50 one or the cameo appearance, which I think just...
You like that one, don't you?
I do. I've always...
Chuck it on the credit card, it'll be fine.
It is £105.
It'll be fine.
Messy though. 105, 100 or 110.
Or 104.99. That'd be even worse.
Oh god, that would do me in. Yeah. No, don't do that. But yeah, get yourself on there. They're the ones that we recommend personally because you should listen to us anyway. Pledge, let's get this book made. Untold 3, Untold 2, and 3 will be coming after that.
And more, apparently.
And all the way, he's got like 16 million planned.
Wasn't James Cameron? It's
going to be the new Walking Dead.
Oosh. Never know.
You never know. And with that, see you later.